The lawyer of RISEC appeared in court and said, my lord, this matter is before the Court of Appeal, and you have given a ruling that this court will adjourn sine die pending the determination of the questions or the issues raised at the level of Court of Appeal. He assumed jurisdiction. When he assumed jurisdiction, he went ahead to give this verdict. But before this verdict, a lot of things have transpired. Questions have been raised. One is that at the time PDP approached the court not to give RISEC the register of voters made by INEC, other parties had indicated interest to participate in the election. PDP knew that whatever would be the outcome of the court process will affect other parties. Those are other parties that were not party to the suit. They were interested parties by virtue of the fact that they were participating in an election conducted by a body mandated by the Constitution, the River State Independent Electoral Commission. They were not joined in the suit. They went ahead to participate in an election guided by the Constitution and the laws of River State. Now, after the elections, it's like a woman who, I can give you an analogy, and so you place it in context. A woman is pregnant. You go to court against the woman. The woman delivers. And you say, no, let the baby be killed because you went to court against the woman. The baby was not part of the whole process. The baby never committed any offense against you. And so, but at the time of the emergence, after the emergence of the chairmanship candidates who had now become chairman-elect, they approached the Yenegua Industrial Court. At that time, we had issues with the state judicial service system or the courts in Port Harcourt. Now, Yenegua National Industrial Court gave them a valid order that neither the police, nor the governor of River State, nor the attorney general should tamper with the local government system until the determination of the substantive suit. Which is still at the appeal court? No, which is still pending. That order of the National Industrial Court in Yenegua is still pending. That subsisting suit, was it by Justice Akambi? No, we are talking about two different suits now. We are saying that PDP approached the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt. As they approached the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt, RISEC raised questions. The office of the governor of the state raised questions. The matter was referred to the Court of Appeal in a referral for determination before they come back and try the substantive issue. That matter is still lying at the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal has not decided that issue.
Okay, the issue that the PDP approached the court for was on the conduct of elections.
Not conduct of election. That register should not be issued to River State Independent Electoral Commission. INEC should not. That was the key prayer. INEC should not release register. And the RISEC said, we already have the register. We already have the register. Assuming without considering that INEC or RISEC do not have the register, elections were conducted. Should you punish a man who lawfully participated in an election for the disobedience of court order by RISEC? Let's assume that it happened. Let's assume there was a court order. But I can tell you there was no such court order. Let's even assume for one moment that there was a court order. How will it affect those who lawfully participated in elections? Recall that PDP decided not to participate in that election. And it's their choice. To participate or not is guaranteed by the Constitution, but you have a choice to make.
Okay, let's bring in the legal side of it here now. We're still hoping to hear from Mr. Emmanuel Oka, who is the Commissioner for Housing, River State. He'll join us in the course of the conversation. He has talked about the issues, the legal issues here, pending case, court of jurisdiction, whether you have jurisdiction or not having jurisdiction. But be that as it may, do you think, on these legalities and as they are right now, and based on what you said you gleaned from the judgment, should the elections have gone ahead in the first place?
Strictly, if there was a pending and valid order of a court not to hold the elections, I want to believe that parties should have respected that order, because that ensures the sanctity of our courts and the justice system. Courts always frown seriously on disobedience of their orders. except is also set aside by a superior court or by the same court on the special circumstances. What I can also add is that there actually seems to be either some controversy or disagreement between parties as regards whether there was actually such order. For instance, the counsel to RISEC and the state government was of the view that there was no such order. And then even the counsel to PDP more or less basically interpreted what the court said by saying that the implication of what the court said was that the court, that the RISEC should not proceed to hold the elections. Then again, you now see the administrative secretary of INEC in Rivers State now saying that they did not actually release the register to RISEC because Barrister Goma, who was counsel to PDP, wrote to them saying that they should not release because there was such order. And I want to believe that INEC was a party in the matter, being adjudicated. So there was that controversy, you get. But for me, I'm definitely more likely to, of course, believe the judge when he says that he gave this order and that he was disobeyed. And to that extent, you will see such sanctions.
You said something about whether, if there was an order, if there was ever an order, that order has to be reversed by a superior court or the court itself.
Yes.
In this case,
otherwise obeyed.
Mr. Peterside has talked about going to the industrial court in Yenagoa,
yes,
that said the government and indeed the party, the police and all that should not interfere in the local government activities in Rivers State. That's the industrial court, and this is the federal high court. Should there be an interface between the two? There are those who asked the question. Yesterday I asked this question and someone said, I thought the industrial court only came into issues of labor, and this is a political matter. How does that work?
Really, what happened in that instance was that the elections had actually been conducted. Now, Rivers State House of Assembly more or less put machinery in motion. They held maybe some investigation and thereabout, and then recommended to the state government to take some measures, which the governor actually did by, one, dissolving the RISEC, the board of RISEC, and secondly, by dissolving the State Judicial Service Commission. So these gentlemen were obviously worried that the next target would be themselves. So they more or less rushed to the Bayelsa State. Actually, they even instituted a matter at the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt, but because of service issues, the court said that it could not hear that application. So they more or less went to the National Industrial Court to obtain an order, which also is a valid order. The extent to which the National Industrial Court application is valid is to the extent that they were actually, because the National Industrial Court, vis-a-vis the third obstruction to the Constitution, is of course mandated to deal with employer-employee relations and protection of employment. So they believe that their employment was threatened, more or less. So they rushed to the court, and the court said, "Hold on."
Okay.
Let me ask.
We need to bring in the other side. I understand Mr. Oka is on the phone. So let's bring him in, then we'll come back so that you can put your questions. Mr. Oka, thank you for joining us. Mr. Peterside has talked about the fact that your party did not ask for the elections not to hold in the first place. That what your party went to court for was that the Voters register should not be given to RISIEC.